Once upon a windy autumn morning, golden leaves danced all over Snoopy's yard. The trees swayed, the breeze whooshed, and the ground looked like a crunchy orange carpet. Snoopy, our favorite beagle, was lying lazily on his red doghouse, dreaming about cookies and clouds. Then whoosh, a big gust of wind buried him completely under a mountain of leaves. Only his black nose peeked out. The leaf pile wiggled. Then, poof, Snoopy popped out, covered in twigs, blinking in surprise. He shook himself off, sending leaves flying everywhere. That's when he spotted something shiny near Charlie Brown's shed. A leaf blower. Snoopy tilted his head. The wind had buried him first, so why not fight back? With a confident grin, he grabbed the blower, put on his cool sunglasses, and pulled the cord. Vroom! The leaf blower roared to life, blasting leaves like confetti. Snoopy hooped with joy, chasing piles, swirling them into tornadoes, and zipping across the lawn like a furry superhero. Then, a wild idea popped into his head. What if he could fly with it? He aimed it downward, turned the power up, and zoom! He lifted a few inches off the ground. His ears flapped, his scarf fluttered, and for a moment, Snoopy the flying beagle soared. He zoomed past Linus and Lucy, who stared in disbelief. But just as Snoopy was enjoying himself, the blower spun out of control. It whooshed in every direction, blowing flowers, knocking over a rake, and finally sending a powerful gust toward Woodstock's tree. Woodstock's cozy little nest wobbled, then flipped. The tiny bird tumbled through the air, landing right on Snoopy's head with a plop. Snoopy froze, eyes wide. The nest was gone. Twigs drifted down like sad feathers. Woodstock glared at him with the angriest chirp ever. Snoopy gasped dramatically, then sighed, promising silently, "Don't worry, buddy, I'll fix it." The great nest repair mission began. First, Snoopy built a new nest from twigs and grass. It looked okay until it collapsed into a messy pile. Woodstock chirped in disbelief. Snoopy tried again, gluing everything carefully. This time it looked better, but as soon as he placed it in the tree, splat, fell on his head. Woodstock facepalmed. Snoopy frowned. Okay, he thought, time to go bigger. Next, Snoopy built a tiny house, with cardboard, nails, and paint. He made a little masterpiece, windows, door, and a tiny mailbox that said, W, bird. Woodstock's eyes sparkled with joy. He flew inside chirping happily. Snoopy smiled proudly, until the branch creaked. Then crack, the tree tipped and the fancy house tumbled down, breaking apart. Woodstock looked heartbroken. Snoopy gently patted his tiny friend's head. Then, with a warm smile, he pointed to his red dog house. "You can stay with me." Woodstock blinked. Live with Snoopy? That sounded fun. He chirped excitedly and followed him up. Snoopy rolled out a soft blanket and pillow. "Welcome home, roommate," his grin said. First, it was wonderful. They laughed, shared snacks, watched clouds, and took naps together. Woodstock even told silly stories while perched on Snoopy's belly. But soon, problems started. Woodstock woke up early, chirping loudly while Snoopy tried to sleep. Later, he spilled water on Snoopy's dog Biscuit. Then, he moved Snoopy's blanket to make more room. Snoopy's eye twitched. Their cozy friendship turned into a tiny war. Snoopy wanted quiet. Woodstock wanted to party. They drew a line down the middle of the doghouse roof. Snoopy sighed tidy and calm. Woodstock sighed messy with feathers. One day, Woodstock swung from Snoopy's tail like a playground swing. Snoopy barked in outrage. Woodstock squawked back. They turned away from each other, crossing arms and wings, sulking in silence. Even Charlie Brown noticed. "Are they fighting?" he asked. Linus nodded. Best friends always do at least once. That night, Snoopy lay awake under the stars. He missed Woodstock's chirps and laughter. He peeked over and saw Woodstock sitting sadly too. Snoopy smiled gently, reached out a paw, and pulled him into a hug. Woodstock chirped something that sounded like, "I forgive you." Snoopy wagged his tail happily. After that, they learned to share. Snoopy gave Woodstock his own cozy corner of the roof, with a blanket and tiny cup. Woodstock tried not to sing before sunrise. Well, most days. They built new memories, cloud watching, peanut butter sharing, and funny naps. A few days later, Charlie Brown walked by. Snoopy lounged in sunglasses, and Woodstock snuggled beside him. The broken tree was gone, but their friendship stood taller than ever. Snoopy gave Charlie Brown a thumbs up. Woodstock chirped proudly. As the sunset painted the sky orange and pink, Snoopy sighed happily. Woodstock fluttered up, landed on his nose, and chirped softly. Snoopy smiled, his tail wagging slowly, because even though they sometimes fought, they always found their way back to laughter, forgiveness, and love. And that, kids, is why Snoopy and Woodstock are such great friends. They remind us that even when accidents happen, or we get mad, kindness and laughter can fix almost anything. So, if you're watching this right now on Lee, remember Snoopy's lesson. Be kind, say sorry when you should, and never stop laughing and dreaming with your friends, even if they snore or spill water on your snacks, because true friendship isn't about being perfect. It's about sticking together, no matter how many times the tree falls.